Jose Young's here with MMAfighting.com, speaking with Jodie Esquibel at the UFC 241 Media Day ahead of her fight against Hannah Cifers this Saturday. So how much did you know about Hannah Cifers? She seems to kind of have a cult following now because of her demeanor. She's very quiet. Her interviews, she gets a lot of questions, doesn't give a lot of responses. How much did you know about her when you got offered this fight?
I feel like that's what I knew about her. I think a coach shared a locker room with her and was just kind of like, yeah, her demeanor is super chill and whatever. She actually fought a teammate before she got signed in Albuquerque. I was traveling, so I didn't see that fight, but yeah.
And outside of outside of that, how much do you know about her style, her strengths, her skills? I mean, it seems like every time someone interviews her, they bring up her quote unquote farm strength. Like there's pictures of her on her farm, like lifting engines and giant tree trunks and everything. Were you aware of any of that coming into this fight?
I think just that. I don't really, I didn't seek out pictures of my opponent lifting up heavy objects. However, I have heard such things. That's great. And yeah, does some transfer over into the cage? Absolutely. She's knocked people out, and I think that's great. She hasn't faced an athlete such as myself, and so that changes things.
That was going to be one of my next questions. You've been fighting for a while, whether it's been boxing or MMA. She's obviously very new onto the scene. Is this one of those like veterans versus newcomer type fights that your experience is going to play the biggest factor in this fight?
Yeah, absolutely. My first 3 fights in the UFC have been about against pretty tough opponents, and I think that says a lot. And they're close fights too, all of them. So I've been here. I've been fighting the rounds with quality opponents, and I think that plays a big part.
And you mentioned your last 3 fights. You came up short on all 3 of them, but we spoke with Veronica Macedo. She was at UFC Uruguay, and she was also on a 3-fight losing skid. And she was very open that those 3 fights taught her more than anything she ever learned in the camp. And what she took away from the most of it is like, I'm not going to die. Like, I'm still here, even though I lost. So are you in a similar mindset? Like 3 losses, it's not the end of the world.
It's not. I have 3 losses to really good, super tough opponents, and I did learn a lot. I don't know if necessarily I was ready. And wisdom, wisdom of cage time is you can't. There's no replacement for that. So to have those 3 losses in the UFC against super tough opponents, I've learned so much, and I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it.
What are your goals for the rest of the year? Obviously, you don't want to look past Saturday. You want to get your first UFC win, but is it just stay active, or you can't even look past Saturday at this point?
I want to stay active, absolutely. And step 1 to staying active is win Saturday night. So yeah, let's get that done, and the rest will follow.
And you obviously have there's a big title fight in your weight class coming up between Jessica Andrade and Weili Zhang. What do you make of that fight stylistically, and do you think Weili Zhang has any shot of dethroning Jessica Andrade, who looks pretty incredible lately?
I think she has absolutely. I think she has a shot. Everybody has a shot, but I think she does, especially. She's quite the athlete, and she's so disciplined, and her style is good, and I think stylistically it's a good matchup for her also.
Thank you so much, and good luck on Saturday.